Yeah, Vamshi, are you able to run the playbooks, Vamshi? Okay, so this is the sample playbook yesterday we used. So this is going to install Apache or HTTPD on Amazon Linux. First, we are going to update the cache, then install the HTTPD package, then restarting the service. But restart kind of operations, if you specify in the task, what is the problem is, if no configuration changes have been performed also, is going to restart the services in the production that caused the problem. So that is the reason we are going to use the notify and handler. Okay. So notify in the task, if any configuration changes has been performed. Okay. That means in this example, if any configuration changes has been performed, then only it's going to restart the Nginx. Then this notify will call this a handler. If no configuration changes has been performed, then it's not going to call the handler. So that is the advantage of having handlers. So that is the advantage of having handlers. Okay. So then in the second example, we are going to copy the index.html. Okay. If any configuration changes has been performed in this, then it's going to call the reload. And here, what is the name we given here? And handler name, both should be same. Okay. So handler name and in the notify, what is the name we are passing? Both should be same. Otherwise, it won't work. Otherwise, it won't work. Yeah. Any doubts till this? Any doubts? Then, what is the meaning of gather facts? So by default, using the setup module while running the playbooks, if you don't configure anything also, Ansible is going to collect the facts. If you don't want, we need to keep gather facts should be no. So we should keep the gather facts as no, we should keep. Okay. By default, if you don't specify anything also, it's going to collect the facts. It's going to collect the facts. So here we have one playbook. What is the module we need to use for Amazon Linux or for those CentOS for all this is Yum. Or if you in Debian or in the same playbook, so try to understand. We are going to use a condition kind of thing. Okay, so now I'm going to use if my distribution is Ubuntu. Okay, so I'm going to use the apt. If my distribution is Red Hat, then I'm going to use M. So what is the advantage of this? I need to write two playbooks. Okay, one for Ubuntu and one for Red Hat. But if I use the condition, okay, if I use what is the condition we are using? So what is the condition we are using here? So here, what is the condition we used?
It will choose the OS.
Yeah. So now, can you guess whether this playbook will run if I disable gathering facts? If I disable gathering facts, whether this playbook will run or not? So here, if I specify gather underscore facts, no. Can you guess whether this playbook will run or not?
No, it won't run.
It won't run because at the time of execution of this playbook, it is going to gather the facts of the remote missions. And if that remote mission OS distribution is Ubuntu, that is using the first task. Okay. If the family is Red Hat,
it will choose the Red Hat.
It uses the second task. Which module it is going to use in the second task?
Yum.
Yum. Say, I hope you understand the advantage of collecting the facts.
Yes.
And here we are going to use the conditions also. Then what is the advantage is you no need to go for multiple playbooks in this scenario. In the same playbook itself, we can define the conditions. I hope you understand, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sure. Then we'll go for another playbook. If you want to install multiple packages, so I'll call this as OS-based distribution. Okay, so now install multiple packages. Install the multiple packages. So now, how many packages has been there in this? Say here in this package, you may specify the module as maybe apt or M, depends upon your OS distribution. Okay, so then how many packages are there?
3.
3 packages. If we don't specify all those like this, we need to use 3 tasks. Do you understand? I need to use 3 tasks. Say here I have 1 right as of now. I need to install 3 tasks. Okay. So instead of doing this, we have another best practice is there. That is we need to use the iteration. Okay. So what is the meaning of iteration? It's loops. So in the programmatically, how many packages you want to install, all those define in the loops. Okay. So now here in the package, we are keeping this is the item. So this item value would be replaced what are the packages you have given in the loop. If you have one more package, you can specify here. Okay, so then what is the advantage is, like using this task, that item is getting replaced with multiple values. If you have 4 values, it iterate 4 times. You no need to specify the, you no need to specify the multiple times the task, you no need to specify. Multiple times, you no need to specify the task. Okay, so now we are using Ansible for continuous deployment in our job. Why we are using Ansible? We are using for continuous deployment. Infrastructure, we are provisioning through maybe Terraform or CloudFormation. Once we got the infrastructure, we are going to deploy our applications through Ansible. Okay, so then in order to deploy the Ansible, we may want a front end, maybe HTTPD or Nginx. Backend, we may require Tomcat kind of thing. Database, we required MySQL kind of scripts. Then NoSQL kind of databases. Message queuing, maybe we required RabbitMQ. So these all we required to deploy your applications. Then for all this, we are going to write the playbooks. Okay, so already we use HTTPD, Nginx. Okay, how a Tomcat playbooks looks, we'll discuss. So how a Tomcat, so previously we need to tell we are using Ansible for our deployments. But as of now, which one we are using? So we are using Docker and Kubernetes for the deployments. But previously, so we need to explain these playbooks we used to do, and we are going to deploy our applications. So in this, so here, if we have the Tomcat servers, if we group the host group with the Tomcat servers, then specify that name. So Tomcat servers, these are the Tomcat servers we have in our project. Okay, so then in the Tomcat server group, you can keep how many servers you want. If you want 40 servers, then give those 40 server names. Okay, so then here in the task, first we are installing Java. So here mirror, say while executing your playbook, if this mirror having a problem, then take the updated mirror. So go to Tomcat downloads and you'll get the updated mirror, then give that path. I hope you understand, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if you are using Ubuntu, here instead of OS family Debian, you keep Ubuntu here. So we will get the scripts anywhere, but how to customize it, we need to know as per our requirements. Okay, then start the Tomcat service. So now here deploy the var file. How we are going to get the var file in our project is we are going to build it through Maven. So if it is a Java-based application, we are going to deploy in the Tomcat. And how we are going to get the var file in this scenario? In this scenario, how we are going to deploy? Okay, through Maven, you are going to build and we are going to deploy that into Tomcat. Front-end applications, those we may use Nginx also. The backend database we are going to deploy in the MySQL also we required. Then once you deploy your var file, okay, how you are going to get the var file in the job? So developer will give the source code and that we are going to keep in the GitHub. Okay, then through Maven, I'll show through Maven also how we can build it. Then we are going to get an output is a var file. So that var file we need to keep in the source path and it's going to deploy that into. So now here if the version is 9.0.54, here you use this folder. If you use maybe 9.6 point something, you update this path also. Based on here which of the version you installed, here try to change the version. Okay, otherwise it may throws the errors. Try to get the execution of this. The same playbook you should tell. So why you are using this playbook? Not only for installing Tomcat. Not only
for installing.
yeah.
Okay.
So what we are doing? We are doing the deployment also. You understand? So here in this scenario, restart Tomcat service. What is recommended? Instead of directly recommendation, which is recommended to use? Instead of restarting directly in the task, what is recommended way?
Start. Sir.
Hmm?
Start.
Come again?
Start service. Sir.
No. Directly, we shouldn't keep the restart kind of task in the real time. We need to use notify and handlers. We need to use
Notify and handle.
notify and handlers. Then we no need to do like this. Okay, so try to execute this playbook also. I'll send all these playbooks. Okay, so try to execute these all the playbooks. So for this playbook, better to take. And the same playbook you can execute even in the interview also. So currently anyhow we are not using. We used to deploy using like Ansible long back. Currently we are using Docker and Kubernetes because currently we don't have the monolithic applications. So we have the microservice based applications. That's better to go for Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, any doubts?
So what is this microservice and monolith?
The microservice is that is a new way of deploying the application. Say if a normal application is there, like maybe Flipkart, you will get the complete application as a single var file. But now, each and every part, like maybe payment gateway is there. This is one microservice. Admin panel is there. That is one. Okay, maybe login and registration one microservice. Like this, we are going to divide the application into multiple microservices. The monolithic application, the complete application is as a single application we are getting. Okay.
Understood, sir.
But
Yeah,
if you go for
understood.
the monolithic application,
They are dividing the modules,
they're
sir.
dividing, so that's easy to decouple the application also. And which feature you want, we can run more load, which you don't want. Unnecessarily in the previous micro monolithic application, whether you use it or you not use, all the features we are running in all the servers. Thus unnecessarily consumes more resources.
Understood, sir.
Okay. So that is the purpose it's recommended to go for.
Microservice.
So microservice. Going forward, microservice kind of applications are getting more demand. I just brief idea. We require to get more knowledge on the microservices, because all the monolithic applications which we have in the last 5 to 10 years now moving towards microservice-based
Microservice.
applications. When it is a monolithic kind of application, we are going to get a bundle as a var. Okay, so that's we are going to use to deploy in
Tomcat.
Tomcat like this using Ansible. But when we go for the microservice kind of application deployment, we are going to use Docker and Kubernetes for the deployment. We are going to use Docker and Kubernetes for the deployments. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts on this? Everyone should able to run these playbooks. Then only will understand Ansible. Okay. So then in the yesterday we have used Ansible tags we have used. What is that? Ansible tags. So now, say to the task, we are going to give the tags. Okay. So in this example, what are the tags have been used?
Packages, web servers, configuration.
Okay. So packages and web servers. And in a second task, we use
Configurations.
configuration kind of thing. So like this, for every task, give the appropriate tags. So what is the advantage of using the tags is, say in this we have used more task also. Say NTP is one task. Any idea what is NTP? So NTP is going to set the time, date and time automatically we can set in the Linux servers. So we'll have an NTP server that will set the date and time. So normally your mobile provider itself is setting the date and time, right, for you automatically. If I have 100 servers in my company, time zone, date, time, all these we can set by adding an NTP server. It would be updating. So now here we have the tags like file sharing we have, NTP we have. Okay, so what is the advantage of giving the tags to the task? Okay, I'll explain. I have a very book playbooks which having multiple tasks. While running the playbook, while running the playbook, I want to run only some particular task itself. I don't want to run the complete playbook. I have assume 40 tasks in my playbook. Second time, third time when I'm running, say I don't want to run all the tasks. Okay, I'll tell one example. Say I have install is there. Once I install on 40 servers, again next time I don't need to run those tasks. I have some tags like deployment. Only those related tasks only I want to run. In this example, for those tasks, I need to give the name as
Deploy.
deploy. Okay. So then you want to run only some particular task in a very big playbook. Then it's recommended to use
Tags.
tags. The another scenario is out of only one install part only I want to skip. Remaining all I want to run. Okay. Then I'm going to use the option. Then I'm going to give the option
Skip tags.
skip hyphen skip hyphen tags.
Tags.
So this is the one of the advantage of using the task to the tags to the task. Okay, so this is one of the advantage of using tags to the
Tasks.
task we are going to specify. Okay, any doubts? Okay, so whatever I'm telling, mostly from the interview perspective, I'm telling. So as of now, we are not using Ansible much, but one configuration management tool skills are mandatory for DevOps engineers. It may be Puppet, Chef, or Ansible. Among this, we need to tell we are working with Ansible.
Understood.
Okay. So then we have one more is there. I have my playbook. Okay. My playbook having sensitive details, like maybe passwords or maybe any keys, certificates, or NDA kind of documents I have. If someone sees that playbook, so because we are going to keep the playbook even in the source code kind of thing, then anyone can see the playbooks or not. Okay. If you want to encrypt your playbooks, we need to use vaults. Okay, we have one command line tool called Ansible hyphen vaults. So using the vaults, we are going to encrypt your files. Your playbook, we are going to encrypt with a key that is a password. If you encrypt your playbook, what is the advantage is even if someone sees that playbook, they can't see that because it's encrypted. Okay, so that is the advantage because they can't see the passwords, all those. Do you understand in this scenario which playbooks we need to encrypt using the vaults? In that playbook, if you have any sensitive information like password, then everyone will get those details. So that is the reason we are going to encrypt your playbooks using Ansible hyphen vaults. If you have any sensitive data has been there, we are going to encrypt your vaults. So Ansible hyphen vault is a command line tool to perform those operations. So these all the different commands. We can do the encryption, decryption. Say, assume we have the YAML files. Use this command. Okay, say Ansible -vault encrypt. Say yesterday we have nginx.yaml or http.yaml. So those we can encrypt it. Then it asks you the password. That password we need to send. If you want to view, normally if you open in the VA, it won't see. Okay. Say here for all these commands, it prompt you for
Password.
password. That password we need to enter. Then only for us only it visible, not for all. If you want to edit, then we'll use Ansible-vault, edit that. And if it no longer required to encrypt it, then you can use the decrypt also. If you don't want to encrypt, then we can use decrypt. Rekey option is used to change the passwords. If you want to change the password, then rekey is the option. While running the playbook, you need to give this option. Ask vault password, because directly if you run that playbook, it won't run because that has been encrypted. Okay, so that is the purpose. We need to use ask vault password. Okay, then if you enter the password only, that playbook is going to execute. Okay. So try to run these playbooks and explore the tags and the loops. Ansible also very vast kind of thing. But once we got the Docker and the Kubernetes, the use cases are less. So download this playbook. Okay, so try to, everyone need to run today the Tomcat playbook and need to able to explain. Meanwhile, I'll send for MySQL, RabbitMQ, those playbooks also I'll send.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sure. This itself for deployments we used to do these playbooks like this. We can tell.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sure.